everyone, RG here, and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 speed build on the channel. I hope you're all doing amazing, and today you're joining me for the creation of this community garden, which is something really awesome. It's the first time that I'm creating a garden or a community garden in the game. I've created some sort of parks and community parks and many community lots, but it's been, I think, from the beginning of this channel, I never really created a garden, like a community garden. I decided I want to do that, and fun fact is that until the last moments of me creating this build, I kind of forgot that there is actual lot type that is a community garden, and it is of course related to the eco lifestyle. So yeah, until the last moment of me creating this build, I didn't even think about label this lot as a community garden. I thought maybe to put it on like the generic and just tell you that this is a community garden, and you can act with your Sims and play with your Sims in this build as a community garden. But yeah, there is actually a community garden in the lot types. Now there is a problem with it, and I'll get to that later on, but of course, first of all, here's some information about this build. Now we are in Willow Creek on a 40 by 30, one of the, I think it's the biggest lot in this small tiny neighborhood. And I decided to go with 40 by 30 because I decided to divide this place to many sections, and you're gonna see that in a bit. Many things here are really awesome. You really want to stick around because I've created some awesome things from scratch using, of course, the tool mod. You might even notice some of them at the beginning of this video in this cinematic. You might even notice that I created some sort of an arch with grapevines all over, with literally with some grapes hanging from that vine, and I created those straight lines of vines on some sticks, just like you're gonna see in real vineyard or in some sort of a winery. I created some raised bed with like lettuce and sticking out like from the ground, like carrots with the leaf that you need to pull out. Something really awesome, and many things that you want to see, so make sure to stick around. And yeah, now of course this build will be perfect for anyone who love and enjoy playing the gardener career, which is, I think, one of the best things to do in the game right now. I don't know why, it is one of the most profitable job that you can make money in the game. I'm not quite sure if the job career, like the career itself, will give you that money, but if you are a like freelancer on your own, if you're just raising crops in your property and then you sell them, especially if you have many of them, you can make like 4 digits of a salary every time you sell your products, which is kind of amazing, especially if you are starting, and I think it's not that like expensive to start your own house with a backyard garden. Even if you play yourself, like only one sim or something like that, even 2 sims, and you buy a really cheap house and then you make a fence all over and start planting some crops and trees and bushes and I don't know, of course it depends on the season that you are at right now. You can actually make a really nice money, and you don't need to have a lot of money. I think with 20,000 simoleons, which is the starter salary, or starting at the starter amount of money in the game, you can actually make a really nice gardener house or something like that, and then you can become really rich really fast with a good quality, of course, of fruits and veggies. So yeah, and actually I think I don't think there is a better time for this build to be out than right now, because we are gonna get the cottage living, and of course with that pack there's gonna be many crops, new crops, that we will be able to raise in our lot, or even in this community garden, which I think that you really gonna enjoy. Now you just saw me creating some sort of shade over there with some flower arrangement stuff and table, of course. So this is exactly what I told you. I divided this place for several sections. Some of them will be only for the look of it, and some of them will be actually usable for skill improvement. So of course that was the shade for flower arranging, and you could see that I placed over there some fans on the ceiling, and I just wanted this place because when I built this for crops for summer, and I thought this is gonna be really hot day, really sunny, so you know, just to give some nice breeze to the seams over there. So I placed those ceiling fans, which by the way I don't think they're actually doing something to the seams. I don't think that they're making the temperature nicer if it's a hot day. If I'm wrong, let me know. I don't think I am, but I really hope that they had more impact because they are kind of beautiful. I really love them, and especially if you're building something that is static, you want it to feel alive, and because they are moving, it actually gonna bring some more lively, if that's a thing, to the livelihood to the room you're placing that fan inside of it. And anyway, right now you can see that I created that and it was super fast, but in real life it actually took me a long time to create that arch. Just I saved you some time, so you saw that in some fast forwarding, but this is actually a sample for how my brain works. And many times I received some comments in the channel asking me, I want to see your brain works. This is exactly it, and you can see it's not that bright because as you saw earlier, I kind of started placing those tiles on the ground really near that arch, and then I stopped everything to create that arch. And I created it with those planks. I think those planks are part of the fixing stuff or fixing job or something like that. This is a debug item, and you can move them. The seams can go through them, so they're not gonna block the seams from moving. Seams actually can go through those arches, and I use some of those hanging, climbing plants from, I think they are from, I want to say the Journey one. How do you, Adventure or something? How do you call it? Jungle Adventure? I think Jungle Adventure. And yeah, those climbing plants actually are rotatable. Just know that. I was amazed. 90% of the plants in game are not rotatable, and it can drive me crazy every time to look for a plant or a tree that you can rotate. Most of them you cannot. You can see those bushes right now on the ground. You cannot rotate them. You can just rotate them around themselves. You can't rotate them any other way, even with the tool mod. Twisted Maxi, if you hear that and you know some sort of a fix for that, let me know, or maybe work on a fix for that, because 90% of the plants you cannot rotate them. For an example, in an angle, a 45 degrees angle, you can't do that. You can only rotate them around themselves. So I actually was so impressed that climbing plant in those arches, you could actually rotate them. So I actually rotated them like 180, so they were upside down, and then I got a bit more volume for the bush around that arch. And of course you could see that I placed some grapes over there, and you would be surprised, those grapes will not go spoiled because they are actually the fruit itself. And the fruit, you can place it on the ground and it will forever stay there unless someone will pick it up. And I don't think Sims can reach those grapes. So don't worry, those grapes will stay there forever. Now, right now, which is the right moment, I'm gonna show you that this is actually the structure that I created around the tomato to give the real vibe of, well, tomato plants. If you ever try to raise tomatoes, they are actually trying to go on the ground, but you want to like let them grow vertically, like upstairs. So people creating some sort of a supporting structure around the tomatoes, so I created it right now. Now, some of you might think that this might block the Sims from reaching them, and it's partially true. It's not like completely true. Some of them will be blocked, but most of them, and I play tested it, most of them will be okay. Now, I placed that, by the way, that sign over there, I kind of switched it at the end when I figured that I actually want this build to be a community garden with the eco lifestyle pack. I switched it to the board, community board, I think it's called, that you need it to be in this lot in order to call it a community garden. And you can see that I lowered those plants over there, those beds over there, and the Sims still can use the beds even though I lowered it underneath the ground. The Sims still can go over there and interact with those plants. Don't worry. It might be problematic when the plants are dying, or died, and you need to dispose the dead body of the plant. So it might be a problem. So then maybe you will have to raise them up above the ground. But I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be an issue. Anyway, you know what to do if it will. And right now you can see that I created that some sort of bunk beds. Just think how much my brain right now thinking about raised beds, and he just let it out, bunk beds. So those are raised beds to grow some crops, and I think those are peppers. And for the people with the keen eye, you might notice that all the crops are summer crops, and it's because I'm building in summer most of the time, and I decided I want to use the crops for summer just to have the best screenshots and cinematic shots at the end. So yeah, so all the crops here except grapes, by the way. The grapes are not for summer, and right now you can see that I'm creating some sort of like raised beds with lettuce, I want to say. Yeah, those are lettuce, and those how do you call them? Those leaves. Wow, I forgot the name. The name of the word. Those leaves are actually from Snowy Escape, and I was so speechless when I noticed that they will fit perfectly with those lettuce. Now, of course, you don't need to take those lettuce, and you don't have to. They will never spoil, just like the grapes. But where was I? Wow, I drifted. I totally drifted. And right now you can see that I'm creating the carrot raised bed. You see how many things I created here? I cannot even speak fast enough in order to talk about all the things that I created here. By the way, make sure that you are following right now, because I'm creating here something really, really awesome. I'm creating here some sort of like I don't know how you call them, but it's some sort of a watering system above it, so pay close attention. But where was I? Oh yeah, summer crops. All the crops over here are summer crops. You can change them to something else if you want, of course, but I told you that I use those summer crops because I'm getting like the cinematics will be in fully sunlight. It will look the most beautiful, and that's why I decided to go with them that way. But this is something important for you to remember, because I'm using those summer crops. You need to make sure to place this lot as it is. If you want it to be as it is, you need to place it in your game when there is summer outside, because if you place it, for an example, in the fall, or if you're gonna place it in the winter, you're not gonna see those crops blooming or fruiting. They will be basically the pile of dirt they are. So you need to make sure that you're placing those this lot in the summer, otherwise you will not have those crops ready to go. The only thing that you're gonna see here, I think it's gonna be the vines, like the grapes, and there is another section over there that you're gonna see it in a bit, that I created like sunflowers, I think. Yeah, sunflowers. So those are the only things that are gonna be basically green. Doesn't matter the season you are. So yeah, again, if you want to have this as you see it right now, place this lot in your game in summer. Now this is the section where I just use the individual plants, and I think those are beans, and in the square one, and in the circled one, in the circle plots, I think those are some flowers. Now you would be surprised, but I actually raised all of those plants with my Sims, because when I tried to like raise them with cheats, they kind of messed up. I don't know why. It wasn't really the way I wanted it to be. Some of them were not blooming at the same time, so I could not save them all together in one room because one had some flowers, the other one didn't have flowers. It was messed up, so I kind of raised them all together with my sim. That way they bloomed all the same time. They look amazing. They are in a great shape. By the way, you're not getting a level 1 crops and flowers. You're gonna get here, I think, level 2 and 3. So it's actually a great start for your sims to start and deal with outdoor gardening. And of course, I placed some of those bee hives. It's not beehives. Is it bee boxes? I don't know how you call that, but yeah, I placed some of them because there is a great interaction with those bees, and I think I never really tested it, but I do know that my sim in his home also has one of those bee boxes. So when they are, I think when the bees are angry, you can let them out, and it's amazing to see because they will start hover around those crops in the lot. It's amazing. It's just amazing to see that. And I think they're maybe encouraging the plants to become better and be like higher quality. I'm not quite sure about it. I never really tested it. Maybe you did, so let us know in the comment section. But yeah, those bees are actually something that you also can do in this build. You can raise some bees and connect with them and make some honey and sell it. And oh, by the way, right now you can see something really awesome. Those buckets with some sort of fruits inside. Some of them are like potatoes, some of them are onions, some of them some other stuff. They are from the kit courtyard, I want to say, but I'm not quite sure it's true. So it's one of the kits. It's the courtyard, I think, or the one with the like country kitchen, maybe the country kitchen. Wow. So yeah, this is the raised bed with the sunflowers that I told you, and when the new pack will be out, which is I think on the 22nd to this month, right, on 22nd in July, I think you can change those sunflowers to the pumpkins, which can also look amazing over there. So just put that in mind. And in general, you can make this build every time look different with different types of crops, and also will look amazing. And right now you can see me creating those vines, those grape vines on the straight line, just like you'll have in a winery. And I gotta tell you, it gave me a huge will to create another one. If you remember, the previous one I created was for the 1000 subscribers special, and it was one of the builds that kind of blew up. I think 80,000 views on that build. And it's funny because I reached 1000 subscribers that day, and with that build I gained like 2000 more, and it was so awesome. So but when I created this, as you see it right now, it kind of gave me the will to create another one with those vineyards, and I'm thinking about it. Let me know, do you want to get another vineyard with those crops? And there is a way to put the real grapes bushes into those basically base sticks that stick in the ground, and I think the Sims still can interact with them. So basically it will look like the real base for those grape vines. So anyway, let me know if you want me to create another vineyard, something really awesome with those types of vineyards and vine strips. I don't know how to call them, but let me know in the comment section down below. And I gotta tell you that it actually threw me back. The other day I was visiting my aunt, which she's not playing the game or anything like that, but she really loves the things that I do. She really enjoy the stuff that I make in the game, and she enjoy watching those videos just like you people. So but I told her about Sims 3 and what is like more amazing about the Sims 3 compared to the Sims 4, and the things that the Sims 4 is still missing. One of the things that came to my mind when I told her is actually nectar making in Sims 3. I don't think it was a thing in Sims 2. If it was, let me know. If you know me just a bit, you know that I played mostly like Sims 3, so Sims 2 I'm not that familiar with. But in Sims 3 there was the expansion of going across like World Adventure, and in that pack you could actually visit France and then get yourself some really unique grapes and start making wine. I don't know why they called it nectars, because the bottles look like just like wine, and you actually had to squeeze those fruits that you are like threw into the machine with your feet, just like you making wine. I don't know why they call it nectar. Maybe because the game is like registered for 12 years old, and 12 years old should not know that this is a wine. I don't know why they called it nectar, but it never really were nectars. And that winemaking was one of the most amazing thing in the game. I just had so much fun doing it. I gotta tell you, I honestly thinking about playing The Sims 3 again just to enjoy this time. I do know that there is a mod by Ernie, I think, for wine making, but again, if it's a mod with gameplays, console players cannot enjoy it. So if I make something for that mod, console players cannot enjoy it. There are so many things in the game that should not be part of modding. They should be part of the real game, the legit game, and that thing kind of make me upset and sad sometimes. I'm really hyped for the upcoming pack because of the new animals and the pond tool that is finally coming to the game, and I have an amazing idea with that tool, and I don't want to spoil your surprise, so I'm not gonna tell you what it is. I am gonna tell you that it is related to the military career. Yeah, start thinking. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what it is, but definitely the new pack is awesome. Did you see the new tease that they just shared a few days ago with the llama that is speaking? Which is kind of weird because they're not supposed to speak, but you know, this is the Sims game, anything can happen. Let me know what you thought about that new tease, and yeah. Few small things before we are ending. The RG, the core needed challenge. I have top 5 creations, and I picked them, and now I'm just waiting like a week, so I will not have the winners in my head. So my reaction to those winners will be authentic as it can get, because I picked them already because it was amazing, and all of you did amazing job. It was so fun to see all of your creations. It was amazing to check them out, and I picked 5 creators and creations that won, and I will be presenting them next week, so stay tuned for that. And I think that's it for this video. We are at the end of this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new for more awesome builds just like this, and hit the bell notification so you will not miss the next build I will publish. Until the next time, keep that Sims party going for me, because RGR Gaming signing off.
I wanna do it all with you by my side. If you're in, meet me here tonight. Be brave and come along, I'll be your ride. Promise we don't need no brake lights. We can travel the world, so just say yes. Choose to do whatever comes next. This or that, getting drunk on whiskey on a Tuesday night, or drinking red wine by an open fire, make love or fight. This or that. This or that, evenings on the train or catch a morning flight, enjoying dinner until midnight, or bed by night. This or I wanna see it all. Find the northern lights, see the stars in the open wild, catch a glimpse of Panama.